You know, it's not every day I find myself invested in multiplayer, let alone one that requires teamwork to win. If someone shows up in between my crosshairs, the only thing I should consider is how fast I'm gonna pull the trigger, not how I should be effectively backing him up. If it were up to me, I'd gladly center this channel around Doom. However, this isn't a viable option anymore. Judging by the comments, apparently some of you seem to like it when I talk about shit. Whether they're made out of pity or poor taste, I guess I should be grateful since it's given me some amusing reading material. I even made some people emotional. What saps? Wait a minute. What? How did... Where?
Merry Christmas.
You rotten little... Fine, whatever. Let it sit there. I don't care. Sure explains all the weird looks I got on the way here. Anyways, circumstances being what they are, I may as well toss another of my interests out there. This one in particular just so happens to be a special case, and I have no intention of rushing it. With that said, cue the obligatory montage. Let's set a few things straight. I hate multiplayer. I've never understood the appeal of playing with another person, let alone a crowd when I can have just as much fun, if not more, going through something on my own. The only game mode I can tolerate is deathmatch, and a majority of the time I'd rather be doing something else. You must be asking yourself, Castle, why is Team Fortress 2 sitting in a bit closer to heaven if you vehemently despise playing with others? It's complicated. In one hand, I have to interact with other people, and trust me, it's as annoying as I knew it'd be. In return, I got a timeless, stylized aesthetic that's been standing strong for 13 years, characters with memorable personalities, a soundtrack which hits in all the right places, and gameplay so good it keeps me coming back for more, most of the time.
They're going to bury what's left of you in a soup.
No! Bad Irish Cyclops! Get out of here before Monoculus gets a twin brother.
He's Scottish.
And I'm relevant. Point is, there's a number of reasons why Team Fortress 2 breaks the multiplayer curse. Nothing is ever too similar. One day you'll be wrecking house with your favorite class, and in the next, someone's sending you to the devil's office while flashing their crotch. As such, death is usually never boring. Right here. I counter an Uber push and continue my pursuit to ensure the medic's death. It works. But watch closely. One of our snipers, who I hadn't even noticed, headshots the medic, leaving me alone with the demo who blows himself up because I'm on his ass like one of those annoying prowlers. This game bleeds personality and style from its class-specific taunts all the way down to their dying screams. You know you've done something right when a gameplay-obsessed freak takes the time to appreciate every character, even the one he hates. 1,162 hours in, and I haven't even gotten sick of him yet. Well, guess what? Every single one of these buffoons is getting their own video. They deserve that much. Starting with everyone's favorite Boston babbler.
Grass grows, birds fly, sun shines, and brother, I hurt people. I'm a force of nature.
Have you ever boot up a game solely to hear someone speak? Me neither. So it's a good thing Jeremy hurts people faster than he can run his mouth, because with a health pool perfectly matching his physique, he certainly won't be tanking anything anytime soon. But I'm being a bit too harsh. I'm quite fond of the little runt. His snark hits a golden center where it isn't annoying and gets the occasional chuckle out of me. Sometimes you just want to make fun of someone's living conditions, mock them in their native language, or laugh with childish glee as the life drains from their eyes. What? Just me? It's not like the scout's size deters him from getting physical with a person twice his size. He does wonders with a bat. And you know what? This alone is enough for me to like him. He still may not be my favorite of the cast, but I'd be lying if I said the scout wasn't entertaining. The roster wouldn't be the same without him. Besides, his weapon of choice is what catches my attention. See this? This. is the Scattergun. A double-barreled shotgun with one of the strangest reloading animations I've seen this side of the Omniverse, and damage output deadly enough to put a good chunk of other video game shotguns to shame. The sound effect for when it fires, it's enough to make you feel a flutter in your chest. Having one of these in your hands is enough to solve any problem. A zombie apocalypse? Child's play. Creatures of the night? Prepare for imminent sunlight. Formless eldritch abominations who distort reality by simply existing? Okay, maybe now I'm overselling it, but regardless, it's a phenomenal gun. Few things in TF2 are as satisfying as blasting players with the scattergun, and I bet part of it is that addicting bang. I'm telling ya, great gun sounds never detract. All it does is make you want to eject all 6 rounds into someone's face. I couldn't tell you anything regarding the mechanics. I just love using this damn thing. Handle with extreme caution. Side effects may include experiencing a rush which forces you to look for another unsuspecting victim. Now I know it feels good watching everyone ragdoll after a couple trigger pulls, but keep in mind, you're a runt, and it doesn't take much to experience an avoidable and unfortunate, yet amusing demise. In my defense, TF2 was one of the first games I had played with reloading. When you live and breathe classic FPS, shaking off those bad habits can be difficult. You've got better chances of running into a spy crab. Avoid making the same mistakes I made.
It took him months before he worked up the courage to try the game again.
The audience doesn't need you to be specific, Blue.
The Scout's double-barreled, lever-action shotgun ejects 10 hit scan pellets per shot, with a maximal ramp-up, providing an increase of 175% and a fall-off of 52.8. Taking the spread of the 30-to-1 hammer units into account, a measurement of distance used in Valve engines, the Scattergun is capable of dealing a maximum of 105 points of base damage. Each class has a set amount of health with numbers ranging from 70 to 300, a factor which can be increased through the use of overhealing. Random criticals provide a 3x multiplier, ignoring the distance and random damage modifications of normal shots. Assuming you have the aim, which in hindsight may be a mistake, it's possible to kill a heavy who hasn't been overhealed in a single shot.
Okay. In short, the Scattergun is an absolute unit capable of taking on the entire cast. Which is good. Otherwise, the Scout would be a punching bag, and I'd hate his guts. He's only sometimes the punching bag. Alright, I forgot to talk about his speed. Yeah, Scout's got the fastest running speed in the game, and on top of that, he has a double jump. Man, if I loved his gameplay before, then this is a game changer. Combining the Scattergun with this kind of mobility makes the low health irrelevant. Who needs to be tanky if the enemy can't hit you to begin with? Slap a winger in those hands and fly like a bird. Soldiers, watch the splash damage and you're set. Keep in mind they'll pull out their own shotgun if the rocket launcher isn't getting the job done. Demo men are a bit similar to the soldier, except they use grenades and a sticky bomb launcher, which automatically makes them the worst thing in the game. Must be compensating for something. Help the heavy improve his aim by killing him. Works every time. Their large mass is perfect for the Scattergun. Remember to hide when necessary. Hit scan works both ways. Pyros?
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Have you ever seen what it's like to burn toast?
Save yourself the pain and sneak up on them. Medics and snipers are sitting ducks. Trust me, you'll be doing them a favor. If it wasn't you, it'd be someone else. The former should always be the main priority anyways, so do whatever it takes to mess with their uber charge game. If you're lucky, you might even piss them off. You'll be too busy enjoying your mobility and ambushing players to notice spies most of the time. Sometimes you'll run into them, other times not. Avoid getting face stabbed. The only real nuisances I can think of are other scouts and engineers. With enemy scouts, you're inevitably going to enter this awkward strafe dance till one of you dies. Maybe it's a mating call. And NG's... Christ, do I even have to elaborate? Look at what's next to them. God help you if they congregate while they've got bots on their side. Ugh, desperate times call for desperate measures. There are some more primaries, but I wouldn't recommend using them over the scattergun. They offer alternate playstyles, and can be fun to mess around with from time to time. Take the Force of Nature for example. In return for only getting 2 available shots, you get the ability to send someone flying. Situational? Definitely. Does it make it any less fun? Depends whether or not sending fat men falling to their death is funny to you. I do. Though keep in mind you'll be at a disadvantage fighting other scouts who have their default. Can't say much in favor of the soda popper, apart from it used to grant mini crits once the bar charged up. Somewhere down the line it got changed to additional jumps, which was still great, but after an update or two it faded away into the backpack like a caffeine addiction. Now I'm sure the shortstop has its uses I'm not aware of. For all I know, it's the best gun in the game. However, I'd rather not find out because increased pushback and fall damage isn't on my to-do list. You could push people. No, that's reserved for the backscatter. The design's rad. The inability to random crit, 4 shots, and a 20% increase to bullet spread? Fuck that. Oh boy. The Babyface's blaster. Where do I even start? At first, it wasn't anything special. Nothing more than a novel little weapon. Fill up the bar and you're Sonic the Hedgehog. Although jumping sent the meter down to 0. A deathly trade-off, if you ask me. Being able to jump is as important as rocket jumping for the soldier. But it found its uses. Who doesn't love moving at the speed of sound? Little did the community know that the Babyface's blaster had a nasty surprise hidden deep within its barrel. November 21st, 2013, the Two Cities update hit TF2, and with it came the winds of change. A buff to the BFB. I'll tell ya, I've seen a lot of massacres in my day. Mainly my own. But watching what happened next was akin to standing in the boots of a traumatized soldier. Witnessing the devastation of his home he fought hard to protect. The center of his world paraded around on a crimson-stained pike. With the 30% damage penalty removed and jumping only partially lowering the bar, scouts everywhere ran wild. Drunken with power and an evil desire to consume the online landscape. Medics, snipers, pyros, none were safe from the Babyface massacres, forcing many to seek refuge within sentry nests everywhere. On July the 2nd of 2015, a year and a half into the Babyface massacres, the pendulum of fate swung in the opposite direction and obliterated users of the BFB everywhere in the blink of an eye. First came stillness, then peace, and finally, normalcy. Happiness, joy. Do you really think anyone would smile after such heinous crimes against humanity? If only life were so simple. How do I know all this? I was a part of those massacres, smiling as my Babyface smeared players across the wall. Everyone changed that fateful Thursday, myself included. Sometimes I miss those days, living life as a speed demon of the night. I won't delve too deep into the secondaries or his options for melee. I never found much reason to use them. The winger increases your jump height. A jar filled with suspiciously white liquids named Mad Milk can be thrown at enemies to give yourself and your teammates another source of healing. Bonk Atomic Punch can be useful. Critical is pointless. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol is whatever, and the Flying Guillotine used to be a badass combo with the Sandman. Keyword, used to be. Stick with the Winger and Mad Milk. Pan, ham, and fish are the only true ways to go. Sun on a Stick is up there as one of the most useless wastes of space I've had the misfortune of trying. And the Rap Assassin just barely escapes being coupled with it due to the bleeding effect. I hate candy canes. Fan of War is amazing in Man vs. Machine. Atomizer gives a handy extra jump, and the Sandman is pointless. Both those two give you the ability to taunt kill, which is always nice. Good luck landing it. Takes a century to finish. That's about as much as I can say about the Scout. An endearing, shotgun-wielding, chicken-eating, romance-failing Boston basher will throw in a second beating absolutely free. And really, who else can offer that? I wasn't expecting much from a runt, but he's a runt I may have some affection for. It's more than what Pauline gives them. Now, let's go fuck up some sentry nests.
Anomalous activity of eldritch origin has been detected. Ether class 1C, yellow. Location currently unknown. Specimen has shown itself capable of feasting on targets in mass. Exhibits signs of intelligence. Further observation? Likely.
I'm telling ya, great gun sounds never detract. Fuck. Stop squeaking, chair. I'm telling ya, great gun sounds never detract. I'm telling ya. Great. The Winger increases your jump height. A jar filled with suspiciously white liquids named Mad Milk can be thrown at enemies to give yourself and your teammates another source of healing. Why did I make that sentence so long? Pan, ham, and fish are the only true ways to go. Sun on a Stick is up there as one of the most useless wastes of space I've had the misfortune. Oh my god, why is it so fucking long? Pan, ham, and fish are the only true ways to... Fuck. Yeah, they're the only true ways to fuck.